transforming customers into fans. We constantly have our finger on the pulse, helping us create not only the world's best kitchen appliance, but unforgettable experiences really worth sharing. And by bringing people with the same passion together, not only digitally, but where real life happens, their homes, regardless of where they come from, drives them, how great their ambitions are, or what holds them back. We inspire them to try new things, because everyone deserves a life that makes them happier. Everyone should be able to turn a how into a wow and create truly delightful moments. With the best Thermomix we've ever made. Of course it can weigh, chop, grind, grate, steam, whisk, mix and boil. But for the first time ever, new cooking modes add more thought to your cuisine, giving you more wows and yummy mummies. For more tenderness made effortless. More homemade yogurt and cheese. More pulled pork at the next garden party. More taste highlights by adding roasting aromas. And caramel creations prepared in a jiffy. The new Thermomix is cleaner, more powerful, and psst, it's quieter. With a way larger display, a highly intuitive user interface, and recipe recommendations, making the best homemade meals easy peasy. Built-in Wi-Fi and Cookie-Doo provide daily inspiration, with over 40,000 guided cooking recipes created and shared all over the world, regardless of which device you use. And the best part, it gets better and better all by itself. Smart at heart, just like you. Six.
Oh, someone's muted me. Here we go.
What did I do? Did I mute you?
That's all right. Now you can hear me
Freedom
again.
and happiness comes down to
hang
how
on.
much debt you can
What's
get.
all that?
Something going on in the background.
It was the Thermomix show.
No. That's good. Just wait for it. No. That was just the introduction whilst we were waiting for everyone to come in. Hello, everyone. We are recording this session here today for everyone who said last minute they couldn't join. So my name's Jenny Falter. I'm one of the local team leaders here in Bayside, Melbourne area. And today I have my team with me, as always, the beautiful Jules. And we are going to present to you today a couple of dishes from our 28-day meal plan for 30 minutes and under dishes. So that is something very exciting. Most of us are very time poor when it comes to cooking, and this great meal plan, which will take you through a month. Basically, someone's not muted here, sorry. That is going to take you through a whole month. And we have picked a couple of the best dishes that I think today to present them to you. And I will send everyone who has joined here today and who's interested the meal plan afterwards. So you can then start exploring all the different dishes. I highly recommend that you put them in a playlist, in a folder in your Cookie-Doo account, and add them to your weekly meal plan and also to the shopping list to save you even more time. All right, without any further ado, we're hopping today straight to Elizabeth's kitchen, and she's going to kick off the show with the chicken in yogurt. So hang on, we need to find you. And
here I am. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Stunning day, more stunning that you chose to come, but you didn't make a bad decision. You're going to learn some really great stuff that's going to make your life quicker, faster, better, and all that. So I'm going to kick in straight away, and I'm going to start cooking. And it's I'll just give you a little bit of a hint too. Prior to starting this, I made some garam masala and a couple of dry, spicy things. Oh, and I also did the ginger paste. I didn't wash the bowl. Why? I'm going to be using it for the same ingredients. So you smell the ginger. So in with 10 grams of coconut oil. So off we go. Quick start. This is the first time I haven't turned the machine around. I'm trying to be a big girl now. So put the lid on, and then it's 1 minute just to warm the coconut oil, so when the rest of the ingredients start to be included, it's all ready to zhuzh along. So for that minute, Jenny, I think you want to zoom off somewhere else.
that's right. So we are going to zoom over to Diana's kitchen. Diana needs to unmute herself, please. Here we go, and then we can see you. All right.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you, and I
Wonderful.
will also, hang on, I need to pin you. Yeah, here we go. Now you're bright and loud on our screen. So what are you showing us today, Diana?
Well, I'm making a mushroom stroganoff, which is a great quick recipe, and it's vegetarian, so it's good, just in time for Meat Free Monday. First, we just get 1 onion quartered, 2 cloves of garlic, and we pop it in there. So no garlic crushes required. Pop the lid on, and we're just going to blitz all that up for 3 seconds. Beautiful. We'll just wait. So I just wanted to show you how good that is, that I don't need to be chopping away, just saving extra time. So we're going to scrape that down. And I'm going to pop in some oil. And then that's going to sizzle now. For 3 minutes. So Jenny, off to the next person.
It's back to me.
Yeah, wonderful. So we're going back to Diana's, Elizabeth's kitchen. Yeah.
Jenny's truck.
We're almost there. Not quite.
There was an earring, also a shoe. Truck is towed about a lot. Please ask Jenny.
You keep going. We will find a person.
Okay,
who's
so
talking
I don't think I'm spotlighted, but I'm happy to talk away, and you can look at me on a little screen. Oh, can't see myself. All right, so I'll have to just move on. I'm adding some of the dry ingredients, and by the way, the coconut oil, when it's all melted, smells delicious. So I have curry leaves. It says 10, but I thought mine were a little bit mean, so I'm just putting in a couple of extra ones. My onion, aha. So it says 150 grams of brown onion cut into quarters. And isn't it annoying that the onions are never exactly the right size? But I think we don't have a problem if it's a little bit over or a little bit under. So the next exciting move for me is my chilies. Now, I'm a little bit not quite understanding. Sometimes it says to cut them in half. And I don't know if it meant this way or this way. So I cut them in quarters. Also, I've made this recipe once before, and normally I take the seeds out of the chilies, but I didn't find it that hot. So I've left the seeds in, the seeds in. Now, the next thing is asking for is coriander. Now, this is a very polarizing herb. It's also asking for the roots. So I've given it a good wash. I love the fact that the roots are going in. But I would imagine if you're not a coriander fan, perhaps you could do parsley. Okay, so this is going to have a little bit of a chop up, which will only take a few seconds, 3 seconds. And off she runs.
Wonderful.
And again, it's exciting cooking when you've got these beautiful, beautiful aromas. And of course, it's all chopped up and delicious. And I think it's probably asking me to push down the sides, which we have to do from time to time. Very easy. And my next little exercise is going to be some cooking. So this is the time where I can go off and paint my nails or do the crossword. So that's going to be 5 minutes. So I'll see you again soon. So off to
back to
Diane's kitchen. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Hi. So while the onions were cooking, I chopped up some mushrooms. But the next step is just a few ingredients. So we've got vegetable stock paste, which we've made in the Thermomix, our liquid gold. We just pop that in there. Now you can make this recipe gluten-free. Just make sure that you check that your tomato paste doesn't have gluten in it. We've got a bit of white wine. Oh, the smell of that garlic. Yum. And what else have we got? We've got some paprika, some lemon juice, a bit of flour. Like I said, make sure that's gluten-free flour if you want to make this dish gluten-free. Now we've got some beautiful portobello mushrooms that we've just sliced up to about a centimetre or so. We've got some Swiss brown mushrooms as well. Now the recipe actually asks for shiitake, which I couldn't get a hold of, but I did have leftover sliced mushrooms from yesterday's pizza night, so I'm using that instead. So we just pop that all in and we just kind of give it a bit of a stir, pop it all, push it all through. And we just cook that for about 5 minutes.
All right, too easy. As for the shiitake, so I've made that recipe and I had dried ones. So before I started this recipe, and I think the recipe wants like 200 grams or so. So I have used 20 grams of the dried ones. I milled them up in a powder and added them as well to the dish, just to add that extra layer of flavor of the shiitake mushrooms in there. Also works completely fine, but really with any mushrooms that you can get your hands on, they will all work fine.
And the recipe is pretty forgiving anyway, so.
True. Yeah. All right, now we're coming to Thermomix to Megan, and she is nowhere to be seen. Yay! Making an appearance, wonderful. Hi, Megan.
Hang on, I'm just unmuting. Hello, I'm here.
Perfect.
Hello, everyone.
What are you going to show us today?
Yes, I'm making a hoisin pork bowl today. So these, bowls are very popular in cafes at the moment. And this one is super easy to do and very forgiving. So I'm going to double it today. And that makes one sleep because I've got 3 boys and husband, so they eat quite a lot, and if there's any leftovers, that's good. We've got it for lunch. What else did I want to tell you? It's also besides pork, but you could use any mince. You could use chicken, turkey, beef, lamb. You could also do tempeh or something. So if you wanted to have a vegetarian version, and we do have one vegetarian tonight, we're going to do a bit of salmon for that guest. I'll just say that, yes. And as Janie said, like I put this all into my, I put this into my shopping list today, and I went to the supermarket and got all my ingredients. So I've got them ready here. So first of all, we're going to make sort of a paste, and it's got some roasted salted peanuts. So put those in. I'm actually doing the double. So that's 100 grams for me. And some fresh ginger. So what you do is you peel your ginger and you slice it into little coins, we call them. So that tends to cut it well when you put it in your Thermomix. It's also a good way, you can freeze it that way. If you want to put it in a snap lock bag, you can freeze it. So I've doubled that, 40 grams of ginger, fresh ginger. Chop that up into a paste. So it's actually 2 seconds. So 2 seconds on speed 8. It's not really a paste. More like a peanut crumble. Transfer to a small bowl. So we set that aside. Oh, it does look like that. Let's have a look. There's my spatula. Bring that over here. So you can see it sort of looks a bit like peanut butter. So we set that aside. And I'll put it in the bowl. So I'll do this more quickly. Okay. Now we're going to make a sauce. And it's very easy. This one, you know, it's a bought sauce, so it's a hoisin sauce. You can actually make your own in Thermomix. If you Google, search for hoisin Thermomix, you'll find a recipe. But this makes it super quick on a weeknight or Sunday afternoon. Where's my spatula's gone? Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of sauces and condiments and pastes really for the Asian way of cooking. They're beautiful, all homemade from scratch, and they last quite some time as well. Just cover them with oil and yeah.
That's true, and you do have to wonder sometimes what is in these bought ones. So it is nice to make your own. Anyway, that has some water in it, and it's actually and 2 teaspoons, and so I'm going to do double, 4 teaspoons of the paste that we made. That just goes in there for a little bit of flavour. So what did I say? 2, so I'm doing 4. And one's generous.
You're doubling this
Sorry
recipe?
to interrupt. I just popped the recipe for hoisin sauce in the chat for everyone.
Oh, there you go. Excellent. Was that in Cookie Dough?
Yes. That's one in Cookie Dough.
Nice. Oh, hang on. Maybe I was doing that in the bowl. It says stir well. So anyway, I'm going to do it here. So what you can do is just press your little house, and you'll go back to your, you can't see it on my screen, but you'll go back to your time, temperature, speeds, base, what is it? Screen, and then you can just mix it yourself. So you can interrupt your recipes, don't worry about that, and then just go back to your bookmark. Right, so I've mixed mine in there, and that's, yep, so it's just a sauce now. So we've got hoisin, water, and the paste, and that can be set aside. I'm just going to put that over there. That is ready. And the same thing, we don't have to wash the bowl for this next bit. I quite like this. Or you can just rinse it quickly. I'm going to leave it there. And we're going to do some rice. We're cooking the rice in the bowl in a simmering basket. So it's over here. I've got some jasmine rice here and I've rinsed it. And it's 200 grams in the recipe. Now I've done about 350. I mean, I have done 400 in the past, but I probably wouldn't recommend that. Jenny, what would you say?
Yeah, no, 350.
Yeah, 350 is probably suitable. Oh, hang on, I need the water in there. Okay, so we've got that, and we need some water. Got that here. So when you do your rice, just rinse it so it runs clear, just like you would if you had a rice cooker or you're cooking it. You would remove some of the starch. We need 1,200 grams of water. There. So this is where we're going to actually steam the rice in the simmering basket, and then we're going to cook some vegetables on the top. And this is also quite versatile. You can do, you know, you can beef it up and do more than is in the recipe. So if you're feeding a bit more of a crowd, a little bit more, it's really good. And some of this is actually using fresh vegetables too.
I'm curious about the speed settings.
Sorry, you said you're curious about, oh, hang on, I'm missing you. Is that me or Jenny?
Yeah, no, I know. I've got a terrible internet today. Sorry. I'm still here. I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. So you said you were interested about the speed.
Yes, the speed settings. Once you turn it on, so on what speed the rice will be cooked and steamed, and the vegetables be steamed.
Oh, well, let's have a look. So I'll just
Melissa
and
I, we do have a theory about.
Speed 4. Everything's on speed 4.
I'm happy with that too. I've got some broccoli florets, and we've cut them quite small because these are going into your, your bowl, what we call the pork bowl. So you don't want them too big at the end, so they're cut up. But you could do some other vegetables, and I've done more than the recipe. I've done double. There. So you could do another layer as well with your Veroma tray. Okay, so it's broccoli in there. We've seasoned it with a little bit of salt. It's up to you. Put the lid on, and we're going to cook for 15 minutes. And it does say on speed 2, but I am the same as Jenny. I've been using a Thermomix a long time. In the old days, we used to do it on speed 4, and I find that gets a lot more of the steam coming up, and you'll find it cooks your food a lot more quickly. Certainly if you're doing chicken and things. But you can always have a look inside and check how your vegetables are going. So it depends how small you cut them and so on. Anyway, let's put that on. Oops, didn't do it. Turned it on. So that's going to cook away. The rice will be cooking, you'll be steaming your vegetables. And while that's happening, I'm actually going to be using the stove. It's amazing. This recipe uses the stove. I believe it. So we're going to have a fry pan, and I've got some pork over here. So I've got double. This is where, I'm making a really big meal. And that's going to go into the fry pan with a little bit of salt. And we've got sambal, how do you say that? Sambal olek. So this one is also a little jar, but Melissa might be able to find us a recipe for that. So it's an Indonesian chili paste, and that is easily found at the supermarket, but I'm sure you could very easily make that. And it says 1 to 2 teaspoons. I've doubled that, and we like it a bit spicy, so I'm going to go the lot and see how it goes. So that just goes in the fry pan with your pork, a bit of salt, and the sambal olek, and that cooks away, and that will go on the pork bowl. So
wonderful,
very easy recipe.
Yeah. So basically, your time-saving trick here is that you do whilst the rice is steaming, you just do something on the fry pan at the very same time. And we're going to come back then later and going to see how it's all beautifully assembled. Whilst we are heading back to Elizabeth's kitchen, and we will have a look how the chicken in yogurt is going to turn out from here.
Cool.
What's your next step?
I'm going to put the chicken in now. It does ask for thighs, and it says to 2 to 3 centimetres. I like to be able to find my chicken in the bowl and for it not to be too small. So I've cut them a little bit bigger because during the cooking process, it will shrink a little bit. And we're not using a blade cover, which is an interesting one. So in we go. And again, if another polarizing thing, some people, they like the breast, some people like the thigh. You could substitute the breast. However, I think you might want to just shorten the cooking time just a little because breast cooks a lot faster.
And
So
another tip when you're using chicken breast, always put in the butterfly whisk. That's much more gentler on the chicken breast, and it doesn't fall apart so easy.
Beautiful. I'm a thigh girl, so but good to know. So the ginger paste, you can make that in advance. In fact, that's a good thing to keep in your fridge, the ginger paste. So I'm just putting some of that in. And I was able to knock up the ginger paste and the garlic paste quite quickly this morning because I needed some fresh. So my garlic's going in. I've actually increased the garlic because I like it a little bit more garlicky. And then my next ingredient is cumin. I've put them all together. Coriander, Garam masala, remember I said that I'd made that and I didn't wash the bowl because all that powder is going in anyway. And the turmeric. And in she goes. Woo! I knew I'd do that. Oh dear. Just a minute, hang on.
Oh, that's a beautiful little helmet.
There we
you have
go.
there.
Oh, good. I'm such a messy cook. So here we go. This is it, the salt. And I think we're off and racing again for the cooking process. But Jenny, I think it's the end result when I come back, and I would just like to say a couple of things. The last two products to go in is, after 15 minutes, is tomato paste and yogurt. I made my first yogurt last night. Important hint. I had to get up at 2 o'clock to put it in the fridge.
No, you could have let it just sit there overnight until the morning. That would have
Well,
been
I did not know. And I just thought, I don't want to be murdering people with salmonella, botulism, or any other exotic thing. But I haven't even taken it out. I did it in the Varoma, and I did it in this bowl, which is brilliant. Can be used for lots of things. And there's my yogurt. And I've got the little yogurt jars, but I thought I'd like to show you this before I decant it into the yogurt jars. So I think it's all I've got to do after this is the yogurt and the tomato paste. So I will see you at the end with a beautiful bowl of chicken in yogurt. And I can't tell you how delicious this smells. I wish I could share it with you.
That's right. And that yogurt recipe is also in the meal plan that we're going to share with you. So coming back one more time to Diana. And what's the mushroom risotto I was just about to say? The mushroom
stroganoff. So I've just added a whole another batch of mushrooms, the same as before, the portobellos, Swiss browns, and just your regular mushrooms because I didn't have the shiitake. And I've just given it a bit of a mix, and I'm going to pop in some sour cream, not too much, so it's not too rich. This is actually quite a healthy recipe. So I've just mixed that around. There we go. And I'm going to pop the lid on, and that just cooks for another 5 minutes. So it's so quick and easy. But I did want to mention this dish is actually very yummy with mashed potato, rice, pasta, polenta, bread even. And I just found a little trick. Now, if you want to make polenta while this is cooking, look, I'm not endorsing any brands, but I found this instant polenta in my local supermarket. Basically, you boil some water, pop it in here with 2 teaspoons of salt, or you could use your vegetable stock paste for extra flavour. You tip your polenta in, give it a bit of a whisk, pop the lid on, 5 minutes, it's done. So that's another way of using your thermoserver. And I'll just turn this on, and that'll be all ready in 5 minutes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. That was a great tip to share. Yeah, cooking polenta in your thermoserver, that is something we've learned now. I haven't tried that before. And but yeah, we probably, I hope you all know that we can cook pasta also in your thermoserver. Or for this dish, it's also great. I made it with a cauli mash or potato mash. So versatile and easy to make, just instead of the real deal, but it actually tastes like the real deal.
Oh, better.
All right, so these were our first 3 recipes. Now we're heading over to Sandy. Ooh, we haven't seen you for a while.
Hello everyone. It has been a while. Yes, I'm back from holidays, ready and raring.
What are you going to show us today?
So I am making the quick gyros with tzatziki today. So if you have not made this one before, you really must do it. It is amazing, and the tzatziki is just beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead with this one now. The recipe breaks it all up into 3 parts. You do the gyros seasoning, then you do the tzatziki, then you cook the meat off. So I have already pre-prepared the gyros seasoning, and what it is, it's basically you just put a bowl on your lid, another bowl on your lid, and you've got chili powder. And just, can I warn you, 10 grams of chili powder in this recipe is a lot. unless you like your family like it really spicy. So I personally don't do that. I do about 5 grams, and that's ample for us. Jenny, I know you've made it before. Is that about what you do as well?
Yeah, definitely. I halved the amount of chili that was in there because it was way too hot for us otherwise.
Yeah, way too hot. Yeah. So it's got chili, it's got ground coriander, it's got sweet paprika or smoky if you prefer that as well. You've got ground cumin, you've got garlic powder, dried parsley, dried oregano, dried thyme, lots of herbs and spices in here, a teaspoon of ground cinnamon and salt. And all you're doing is weighing it on your lid, give it a good shake, and you've got all your seasoning. And it actually makes enough for 2 batches. So the first time you make this for this recipe, you'll have enough for your next time you make this recipe. So it's going to be even faster for you. But it's very, very simple. All right. So what we're going to do is we are now going to go on and do the tzatziki. So we're putting 1 garlic clove in. Now, I am a garlic lover, and I usually do 2 cloves of garlic, but let me tell you, it is quite garlicky. So sometimes, depending on the size of your garlic, go 2, but otherwise just stick to your 1 in this instance, no matter how much you love your garlic. Okay, and then we're going to put our lid on the thermi and go next, and it's just going to chop the garlic for 5 seconds on speed 8. Okay. These arms to open up, and I'm just going to go next, and it's just going to ask you to scrape down the bowl. You can see it's just chopped up that garlic. I'm just going to bring it all down. This tzatziki is seriously amazing. It's great even if you've just got visitors over and you just for entertaining purposes. Okay, so we've scraped that down. We've now got 100 grams of de-seeded cucumber. Just throw that into the bowl. What's next? We're just going to chop up the cucumber. So we go next, and it's just going to chop the cucumber for 3 seconds on speed 4. Now, depending on how you like it, this will be quite chunky still. So as you keep going through the recipe, it does chop it a little bit more, but it just depends. You may like to make it a little bit smaller. I generally do another chop. So you can see it's still as chopped it, but it's still quite big. So I am actually going to go back on cookie dough. I'm just going to go backwards and then go backwards, and I'm just going to do my chop again. Okay, so back onto speed 4. So it's all just personal preference for you as to whether, you know, how much you like your cucumber chopped in your dip. So that's a little bit better. So it's still got some chopped in there. I'm just going to bring that down a little bit. Bring it all down. It's such a quick dip to make as well. All right. And now we're just adding the sour cream. So 250 grams of just sour cream.
You could also make it with the yogurt that you just made.
Yes, absolutely. Greek yogurt would be just another option. Just whatever you've got in the fridge. Okay, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'll just add that. And some dried mixed herbs. You can use any herbs. I've gone with what they suggested, which is dill, mint, and oregano. So you're not using a huge amount, just 1/2 teaspoon. It just adds really nice flavour into the tzatziki. All right, put our lid on. This is how easy it is. 10 seconds on speed 2.
Hey, Sandy, sorry.
Done. Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you. Someone just said, could you please run through what your spice mix is good with as well as this dish?
Well, you could use it on any meat, actually. So, you know, like you go into the shops and you can see all the lamb, like lamb shoulders and things like that that have got a gyros rub on them. So you could use it on anything, really, any meat. In actual fact, this recipe is asking for pork, and I'm using chicken today because I struggled to get the pork fillet. But I've made it plenty of times with the chicken or the pork, and it's beautiful no matter what, but I think lamb would be amazing as well. I don't know about fish. What do you all think? Fish, it might be a little bit strong because there's some strong spiced flavours in there, but I think lots of meat. Do you reckon even veg?
I wouldn't use it on fish, but yeah, beef.
Yeah.
Beef definitely as well.
Yeah, exactly. So this is, I'll show you now. This is our tzatziki all done. And I tell you what, it is so good. So let me decant this quickly for you.
All right, and you know what really does not, or what cannot be missed with a nice gyros. So, sorry, I pronounce it like I've learned to say it in a European way. A Greek gyros needs to be in a flatbread, and that's why we found another recipe for you, and it's called the quick.
Oh, we lost you, Jenny.
Yeah. Hello. Hi, I'm not sure if I'm on, but
you are on. Rebecca, go crazy.
Would you like me to start making up the very quick flatbreads that are amazing with the gyros? We had it for dinner last night, and I had some ready to go, but I'm going to whip up some more today. So this is on it's not in the meal plan, but it's in the, you go into Cookie Doo and you take off your filters and you put on the UK filter. It's under that. If you just type in quick, there's a whole host of things that come up, but the quick flatbreads is where we're at today. So we're going to start cooking. Now, we just need 350 grams of just bread flour, just plain flour. Weigh that in. And then just 250 grams of yogurt. Now, I have been making my own yogurt. I make it in batches and put it in school lunches, which is really good. It's so easy. And Elizabeth, put it on so it's ready for when you get up in the morning. Much, much easier than a 2 a.m. get up. So pour in that, 250 grams of that. Now, it needs a teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of fine sea salt, and half a teaspoon of sugar. Now, I've just mixed them all together and I'll throw them in. And that is pretty much it. So then we just mix it all together, which just takes us 15 seconds.
Sorry, I just dropped out, but did we mention that's the recipe to be found on the UK platform? No, we did not. Okay, so the quick flatbread is something you're going to find on the UK platform. Best is to just pop all the countries into your filters, and whilst you're searching for the word quick, you will definitely find it.
So that took 15 seconds. So now we've got a lovely dough. It just wants us to scrape down the sides a bit, and then we're going to set it to knead for a minute. It's very, very easy. It's not a very sticky dough, so it actually works really well.
Perfect. So whilst you do the kneading, we're going back to Sandy, and she continues with the gyros. Here we go.
I am. Now, I just wanted to mention something very quickly. So after I finished the tzatziki, obviously it asks for the bowl to be cleaned. Now, if you're lucky enough to have 2 bowls, which I have, I've just chucked my second bowl on. If you haven't, obviously you can just give this a quick wash. You've got your pre-wash. If you've got a TM6, you've got your washers mode in your TM6, or otherwise just throw a litre of water into your bowl and do a quick turbo for, a couple of 2 seconds. And that will clean that bowl. It will just rinse it. It will go up all the sides. You can get on with just dry it and get on with your recipe. So what it's now saying is place a bowl onto the mixing bowl lid, which I am now doing. Once the 400 grams of pork fillet, which remember, I said I'm just using chicken. So I've just cut it up into strips. It actually doesn't cook it for very long. So there's no chance of it all falling apart and things like that. It's a very good quick recipe. So you've got your pork fillet, either use chicken, lamb, whatever you absolutely feel like, go for it. Add 30 grams of your reserve Euros spice mix. So I'm just adding that in now. Just got a little bit less. And 40 grams of vegetable oil. And this is just going to help to mix it all up and get it all into. I generally don't use 40 grams either of oil. I find it quite a lot of oil. And all you're going to do is just mix all that up. I might take this off. And just mix it all up. Mix that chicken so it's all coated beautifully and go from there. All right, so we'll just do that very quickly. And then we can get on with this recipe. So you could pre-prepare this earlier. You could have your Euros mix. Go, you know, mix up your chicken or lamb or pork or whatever it might be. Have it just sitting there. It's just marinating in all those yummy spices and everything else. So, you know, then go and pick up the kids or take them for activities, whatever you're doing. Okay, so stir to combine. We've done all of that. The next thing we're doing, we're going to start just sauteing some onions and some oil before we start cooking the meat. So we've got 60 grams of brown onion, and it's just sliced very thinly. You know, not too thin, but I've just given a quick slice. And 20 grams of vegetable oil. So again, just go for about 20. There we go. All right, and we're just going to put the lid on. I'll just get my MC. And off we go. So this is going to saute the onions and the oil now for 2 minutes on 120 degrees on reverse, speed 1.
Okay, so later then we come back quickly and see how the, or just keep going. So we want to we want to see the high heat. I know that, what's her name, Elizabeth, has also used the high heat for her chicken there, which is a great additional feature, obviously, of the TM6, so we can not only use it for browning the meat and the onions and vegetables that we're making, but also we can use high heat for sugar work. So thinking of your honeycombs or toffees or caramels and stuff like that. So this is something finally the TM6 can do. And yeah, that's just a great additional function that your previous machines maybe don't have. All right, so we're seeing Rebecca on the screen now again, and you're going to tilt a little bit your camera so you can show us what you're doing there. With your
So I've tipped my dough out just onto my mat here, and using the spatula, I've just divided it into 8 portions, really easy. The dough, like I said, is not very sticky. It's really easy to handle. And then I use my mat. I'm not great at doing circles, but I have to say the mat is really helpful for rolling it out. And then I'm just going to fry it on the fry pan just for about a minute each side. Now, I did make this yesterday, and it doesn't say to use any oil or butter. It'd be up to you, but I chose to use a little bit of oil. I just like that golden color, and I found that the flour was starting to burn a bit. So I'm going to fry some of these up, and I'll show you at the end. The other trick I wanted to say with getting dough out of your bowl is if you can hold it upside down. You've got this lovely ergonomic handle, and you can just twist the nozzle here, the blade, and it will spit the dough out, which just makes it so much easier, particularly if you've got a really sticky dough for getting that out. Okay, I'm going to fry these up.
All right, perfect. So then we will come and have a look later while we are, hang on, now I need to, here, where am I? I can see myself, which is good.
Up to you.
Hang on. Yeah, that looks looks better. Whoops, sorry for all the shaking that's happening here. Yeah, so whilst the girls are finishing the dishes there in the background, I'm buying a little bit of time for them to get ready to finish the decorations of the bowls. But we're going to do a roll call in the different kitchens, and we're going to start that in a moment. I just quickly want to point out that we do have a trade up offer coming, and it's going to start on the 14th of February. So everyone here today who's signed up and doesn't have a TM6 yet, please talk to your consultant about this amazing offer that we're going to have, and it's going to start soon. And what's in it for you? So what does it mean? What kind of models we're taking in, and how much do I get from Thermomix if I want to upgrade to a TM6? And if you say, oh, look, I'm actually quite happy with my machine, and but I still would be interested in getting a TM6, now is the time that we can offer. We've got a fantastic offer going on at the moment, and you saw it quickly, having a Cameo, the mini vac. Up until the 9th of February, which is this week, Wednesday, coming week, Wednesday, we do chuck in one of these mini vacs, or I call it the baby cobalt, from time to time, which is valued at $299 for absolutely free, meaning you would get your TM6 plus the mini vac for the 2359. That's the price for the Thermomix. And if you're in the market for a vacuum or a mop in any way, then we also do have a great cobalt offer. It's called Safe and Pair, and that would include the big brother of this one and the big sister, which is the mop head, and you would get the whole package for $3,999. So for more details and what the cobalt is and all of that, please reach out to your consultant. They're happy to share a link with you. There's great videos where it's all nicely explained how this works. And yeah, talk to them. So that offer is going to run out on the 9th of Feb. And the benefit would be you would get this extra baby cobalt for $299 and can keep your previous machine. Okay, that is that. You saw a couple of the items the consultants were using today. There was the thermoservice to cook the polenta. There was the white thermoserver to make the yogurt. We saw the bread mat where Rebecca is rolling out her quick flatbreads in there. So if you'd be interested in getting your hands on the host rewards, then again, talk to your consultant, because we can make it happen that you could get them discounted price or even for free. What we haven't seen today is the potato peeler, but just so you know, that is also a highly sought item, currently out of stock, but we still have them available for you as host rewards. So if you want to get your hands on a peeler, talk to your consultant. And if you don't have a consultant, talk to me. I will find you one and allocate you one of our team members if you want to. Okay, so I think we are ready to go around in the kitchens, and we're going to kick off the show and tell round with Diana and the mushroom stroganoff.
Stroganoff.
Why do I always want to say risotto? It's not a risotto day today, Shani. There you go.
Yep. So
Diana, show us what you have.
I've poured the polenta into this beautiful dish and put the mushroom stroganoff on top. And I tell you, it smells beautiful. And I really don't think the meat eaters are going to miss their beef and their stroganoff. So isn't that a pretty dish? And you can pop that in the middle and serve it with a whole lot of other dishes if you like, if you've got that vegetarian person coming in. But honestly, it's delicious.
It is. I can vouch for that. We had a leftover portion of that yesterday, and we had it with some wholemeal pasta. So just very simple and an easy dish. So
and don't forget the bread. I think you really need the bread to wipe all those sauces up too.
Definitely. This is a lick the dish, lick the bowl dish.
Yes, yes.
The plate.
For sure.
Licking, everything licking. Okay. So we are heading over next to Megan's kitchen, who is going to show us her versions of the Hoisin pork bowl.
Yes, here I am. So while those things were cooking, remember I was cooking the pork and the rice, and they've come out. You just spend some time quickly chopping a few vegetables. And I happen to do a little bit of pickled onion, really quick pickle. And then you put some herbs on, and you've got your sauce that we made earlier, the hoisin with the peanut and ginger, which tastes amazing, I must admit. It tastes like you're in the Vietnamese restaurant and dipping those rice paper rolls. And then here's my pork bowl ready to eat. So I've just, placed those around. We've got the rice, the different vegetables. We've cut the broccoli that we steamed, and the rice we steamed, and the meat that we cooked with a bit of the sauce on. And there's also a little bit of the peanut paste that you can put extra on the side. And there's your pork bowl. And I don't think it's going to be bad that we might even have it cold a bit later. So it's smelling pretty good.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Don't forget to take a photo so we can share that afterwards as well. Wonderful. And we are going back to Elizabeth's kitchen. Thank you. And wow, that looks very authentic.
There we go. Sorry, technophobe. Okay, so mine is ready. And what a great recipe in that there was not a lot of intervention. And I really could have gone and done a couple of loads of washing or mowed the lawns or something. So here we have, I hope you can see that. And I've decorated it with some of my yogurt and a couple of coriander. I wasn't asked to do this, but I've done some saffron rice, and I did some roti, which I've already started eating. And there is a lot of sauce in this, so it's good for dunking or soaking up the rice. Very quick, very easy. Oh, the other thing, if you haven't got the dinner on the table and everybody's arriving, once you start this off, they go, oh, that smells delicious. What's for dinner? Won't be long. Enjoy.
I think Jenny might have dropped out again, so we're going to go back to Rebecca and show us your flatbreads, Rebecca.
So you can see these. Oh, they're probably a little bit bright there, but they are like a minute each side, and they are soft and delicious, perfect for holding the gyros and that beautiful tzatziki sauce. So yum. Yeah, super quick and yum.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Now we'll go and see what Sandy's got that we can put in those flatbreads. Thanks, Rebecca.
Hello. So I've still
Cindy.
got the second half of the chicken still cooking, but I have got some that the first batch that has finished. And I don't know if you can see, but it is really beautiful. So I've used chicken. You can see it hasn't fallen apart. The onions are all sauteed, all spices and herbs on the chicken. It's fine. Then obviously you have your tzatziki, and we've got all our spice mix. So I will plate all this up and take some pictures. And as I said, the chicken does cook in 2 batches. So this is the first batch. It says about 200 grams. You can actually do up to about 300, and it is fine. So I've got a family of 5. By all means, you can keep doubling that, but obviously not on high heat. So if you're going to do that, just keep going back in cookie dough and just redoing the meat if you need more batches of whatever meat you're going to be using. But by all means, if you've got a big family, this uses, 400 grams. But if you need more, just do another couple of batches. It's so simple. It's 6 minutes it takes to cook. That's it. So very quick. Back to you, Mel or Jenny.
Well, Jenny's face is there.
I just don't know whether you can hear me. Can you? Okay. All right. Oh, thank you. I know my internet is absolutely horrible today. So thanks so much, Melissa. You are a lifesaver in the background today. Yeah, so absolutely, I'm totally blown away what you guys did out of these beautiful dishes, and I can't wait to see everyone on our Bayside Thermomix community group. If you're not part of it yet, please find us on Facebook, join us and show us your version of the dishes. I'm curious, I want to see this. And yeah, so I will send out the meal plan to everyone so you can start straight away, and you don't have to wait for the beginning of the next month. Your day one can be tomorrow. Just give it a go and have a lot of fun with it. That's what I would like to encourage you. Right, so that was it. And oh my God, this is world record. We have done this class in under 1 hour. Thanks to my internet dropping out all the time, me not talking so much probably. But thanks everyone for joining. I really appreciate that you spent your Sunday afternoon an hour with us, and I hope it was very inspirational. For me, it always is. I always learn something new. And if you'd like to hear more, if you'd like to become a beautiful jewel and join our team, you're more than welcome. We welcome new members always with open arms. And can't wait to see you next time. Just stay in touch with your consultant and they will let you know what our next class and when it will be. We do have 3 quick ones coming up next week. So go back to your consultant and ask for more details. They will be focusing on cookie dough and on the upcoming trade-in offer, meaning what are actually the differences between a TM31, a 5 and a 6. So if you're interested in joining that, not so much cooking, but other topics and tips and tricks that we're going to share there too. Thanks so much. And I love you and leave you for now and see you next time. Thanks, team. You've done an amazing job, everyone. Bye.